What's happening out there, gym owners? Hope everybody's having a great week. It's hump day. You know what that means. It's time for some truck talk. Today I want to talk a little bit about the gym schedule and the life of a gym owner / coach, entrepreneur, and just kind of talking about how to manage your schedule and keep it positive. And remember that most of us went into this business because of a love for sports, fitness, training. I never gravitated towards anything like I gravitated towards the gym. I never dedicated myself to anything like I dedicated myself to the gym. I never found passion in anything like I found teaching other people, right, about fitness and health and nutrition, and then that's carried over to a career teaching at a university. That's carried over to a career in speaking and educating and helping other gym owners grow their businesses, as well as helping people improve their sports performance programs and everything else in between. Teaching is my passion. It's what I love to do. So I look at it like every day is an opportunity. Every day is an opportunity that I get to help people. I chose this life. In a sense, this life chose me. When I was a little kid, I had an older friend who lived on the same street as me. He was 4 years older than me. His brother was 4 years older than him. His brother was training to go to the Navy, so he was running and doing lots of push-ups, sit-ups, like standard PT stuff. So we were his little tag-alongs, and I would just literally follow along with him and start training. And that was my life. I didn't know anything else. I was like 10 years old, so. And it just became something we did like a couple times a week. We'd be playing, in the sandbox, and then his brother would be like, "Come on, you little rats, let's go run." And we'd run. I'd make it to the end of the street, you know what I mean? And then the rest, they would go around the lake a few times and whatever, and I'd be waiting for them, and we'd do push-ups. I'd do 5 or whatever, but that's how it all started. And I had a career. I had a master's degree. I was doing a PhD. I had an opportunity to be a PhD doctorate and possibly be a research scientist or full-time college professor. And I chose to open up my own business, and I chose to become an entrepreneur, and I chose to run a gym, right? And here's what I'm sick and tired. I am so effing sick and tired of hearing people talk about a 4-hour work week and all this other shit. It doesn't exist, gang, okay? I don't know anybody else who's truly successful who works, as a couple. Maybe Tim Ferriss is the only guy that I know or I've ever heard of that literally does it. But he has this unbelievable skill for writing and connecting with people. So he's created this thing. You're not that, all right? You own a brick and mortar gym. The gym business is open from generally, 5 or 6 a.m. to 8, 9 p.m. and weekends. Stop fucking whining. Honestly, show up and do your job, right? And work. And as you go, like myself, yes, I've created an ideal schedule. It's taken me years to get to the point where I was able to not only physically offload some training sessions, but mentally, right? It was an ego thing there. I felt like I was the best coach and I should be down there coaching. I also feel like pressure from my team, like I'm letting my team down in a sense, right? Like here I am, an A+ coach, and I'm basically saying that I'm not going to coach that much anymore, and like my team needs me, right? And I'm looking down and I got a team of people training a high school strength and conditioning group, and like, should I be there, should I not, right? And things like that. So there was a while for that emotion, like the transition point to like, can I give up coaching and can the gym survive? And it absolutely can, and it will, and it'll move on, and nobody will know, and it'll be fine. And and again, over the years, I've offloaded sessions. I've put in some real strict guardrails on my schedule. And does that mean that it never gets screwed up? Of course not. Does that mean if I have a sick coach or my team needs me to jump in, we wound up having, we have 60 kids signed up for one of our programs. One of the high school programs here is bringing nearly 60 kids to the gym next week. I'm going to have to jump in and help out there to help facilitate that, right? It's just too many bodies, right? So, does that mean that I don't get thrown into the fire? Of course not. But in the end of things, when I go home and work from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., right? Just about every night after my son goes to sleep and my wife watches sit on the couch and watch TV, and she makes fun of me because I get out my workstation, right? My laptop and my little lap, desk thing and stuff like that, right? And I do some work. And I get up at 4:30 in the morning, like today, and my ass goes right downstairs, and I get my to-do list done. I make my super morning drink. I get my coffee. I do all the things that I do to make my day better, right? And I set myself up for success. And most importantly, I fucking say no to the shit I don't want to do. All right, so if you're one of those coaches who's bitching and complaining about your schedule constantly, right, but doesn't set yourself up for success, doesn't plan, doesn't prep, and doesn't say no, right, like doesn't set up some guardrails, then I don't want to hear you whining, all right, because then you're the problem. And then you can't come and complain, right? You can't come to me and tell me how burnt out you are, how tired you are, when you have set up no system for organizing your schedule, your training sessions, or your business work, right, and things like that. If you walk into the gym on Monday reactive and have no plan for what you have to execute on and who you're going to train and such, you just show up, I got to do these classes, and then I'll fit business in wherever I can, right? You already failed, all right? So it's like saving money, right? Most people in this country spend what they want to spend, and then whatever's left is what they put into savings. Well, let me tell you something, gang. You don't have to make a lot of money to get rich. Some of the richest people I know are teachers and cops, right? Blue-collar people who make a nice living, 100K, 80 to 100K, right? And they're loaded because they save smart, right? And they saved first, saved 20 to 30% of their income first, right? Profit first. There's a little plug for a good book, right? Profit first. Put 20 to 30% away first, and then whatever was left is what they spent time, is what they live their lives on. Well, the same thing is true for your time, right? Book your time first, put the important shit in place first, and then whatever's left is what you do in terms of training and things like that. Really important, all right? I've had multiple calls. The reason why I'm pissed off about this is because I had multiple calls this week and meetings with even some of my own team members complaining about the schedule, complaining about the grind, right? You chose this life, dude. You don't want to be a strength coach? Don't be a strength coach. You don't want to work shitty hours? Go get an office job, right? You shouldn't have went to school for exercise science. You should have went to school for finance or engineering, right? Or some shit like that. Right? But you decided to go for exercise science and you want to be a strength and conditioning coach. You work at a gym. The gym hours are from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. And even at the best that I do and try to separate if you have a morning crew and an afternoon crew and things like that, it's not reality for a small business. I can't pay, somebody who works from 6 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, right? If you want to make that type of money in a private gym, you got to hustle and you got to work all day. And that's just the way it is, all right? And if you think that's bad and you want to go to college and be a collegiate strength and conditioning coach, those guys are working 60 hours a week, year-round, and are under a tremendous amount of pressure to perform, right? At a very high level. And when the team's down, you're down, right? You're out the door, right? So when a team fires their head coach and the staff, you know who gets to go too most of the time? The strength coach. See you later, all right? Take a hike, all right? So a lot of times, so it ain't a pretty world. So you chose this. You decided to go to school for this. You didn't set yourself up for success by doing your schedule and planning and putting some guardrails on. Get your schedule locked down yourself, all right? Make some guardrails. Find a way to put small groups together. Put large groups together. Stop taking privates at 6 in the morning for 60, 70, 80 bucks. It ain't worth it, right? Put a small group together, get 5, 6 people in that group and make 300 bucks. Now you can at least justify that you're making a real living off of that and making some real money, all right? Go to school for engineering, molecular biology, some shit like that, right? And unfortunately, exercise science is one of the lowest paid degrees in the world. Look it up on Forbes magazine. Just quit your whining, you bunch of bitches.